boxing is a sport where you volunteer to be punched in the head. So I think there's less sympathy around head trauma.
After years of training, sparring, and fights, Canadian boxer Claire Hafner is about to find out what kind of a toll being in the ring has taken on her brain health. She's part of a groundbreaking study of 900 living athletes looking at the long-term effects of head trauma.
When you get those results, what is that like for you every time?
Terrifying. Those tests make me more nervous than getting in the ring for fights.
Why?
I'm scared they're gonna find a brain tumor, or they're gonna find a bleed or something wrong with the actual physical brain.
At 46, Claire is one of the top-ranked boxers in the world.
When you step into the ring, what's it like for you? Like, how does the world change?
Hyper-focused,
Yeah?
a sense of gratitude for having that opportunity.
Before she retires, she's hoping for a shot at a Canadian title.
It'll be hard to hang up the gloves without checking that box. I have to confess that, but like I said, if it's not in the stars, it's not in the stars.
She knows every time she meets up with researchers, it could change everything.
Is there a little bit of fear too, though, that this could
Be the end?
be the end? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's always that fear, and then trying to figure out what the next step is.
Las Vegas, the fight capital of the world. It's also home to the Cleveland Clinic Center for Brain Health. Claire has just arrived for her annual day of testing, and we're going with her.
How do you feel right now?
Oh, I'm properly nervous. Yeah.
What are you hoping for today?
I'm hoping that there hasn't been a decline in anything. I'm hoping for a really good, clean brain scan.
Today we're doing the verbal memory test.
Okay.
We're doing the finger tapping test, symbol digit coding test. We'll be doing a Stroop test.
Remind me of the Stroop test?
It's the one with all the colors.
Yes. These are hard, just so you know.
Yes, they are.
These tests measure for changes in Claire's memory and her reaction times.
2 minutes. We're looking for accuracy first and then speed. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Accuracy, okay.
Another key indicator they're testing, her balance.
3,
Go ahead.
2, 1.
Why is it harder with the eyes closed? Because I take away my anchor point?
What it is it's your brain telling you that it doesn't trust the situation that it's in.
This is what people who have like brain trauma actually feel like sometimes, not just
They
regularly.
can't. That's why they have to walk with like a walker.
Claire's blood is sent to the lab to be analyzed for proteins which could indicate head trauma.
And we're only taking the serum.
There are many of the same proteins associated with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Okay, so we're ready. We'll head on in.
Okay.
Claire settles in for a long MRI session to capture her brain from every angle, looking for any sign of possible damage or changes.
Where specifically would the area be that you would look for
Yeah,
trouble?
so this kind of area here, and that is for short-term memory and stuff. The temporal lobe gets rattled around a lot because it sits in a kind of a bony cubbyhole at the bottom. So as you get hit, it kind of rattles around there.
Only about 100 of the study's participants are women. The bulk of what's known about head injuries is based on men's brains. And as Dr. Charles Bernick and his team review more than a decade of data, they're finding differences between the sexes.
If we have two groups that are getting hit and the women are doing better, is there something biological that is protecting them? So one of the paradoxes is that it's been said that women are more vulnerable, for example, to concussion and take longer to recover. Yet, again, in our evaluation of long-term effects, it doesn't seem that they're at a higher risk.
And as they follow athletes through their retirement, they're making another remarkable discovery.
And what we found as a group people get better. So I think it just represents that when people are actively exposed to head impacts, it is changing the brain. And once you stop, there is this opportunity for repair.
Into the clinch. Big shots. There's the uppercut. Power on the inside. And down goes Taylor Starling. That is the win for Christine Faria. The dominance continues.
Christine Faria is the women's bare-knuckle boxing world champion. She says combat sports changed her life.
I took the rough road and, partying and doing crazy things. So fighting taught me discipline, taught me composure, to how to deal with my emotions.
Britain Hart's right eye is a disaster.
The risks of bare-knuckle boxing are high.
Wow, what a tough fight. Right?
But participating in the study has given her some comfort.
When you're young and you're doing this sport, you're not really thinking about the damage inside your brain. So when I started doing this, it made me feel a little bit safer. So each year that I'm going, if I'm not declining, I'm not going to retire.
What scares you the most?
CTE. I've heard so many horror stories about CTE. If he's like, hey, these are what's happening to your brain, these are going to be the consequences, I can make that decision to, quit before that happens.
Last summer, the first case of CTE in a female athlete was confirmed in an Aussie rules footballer. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, is a degenerative neurological condition linked to repetitive head trauma. It can only be diagnosed after death. But Bernick's team can look for telltale signs of risk in living athletes, with hopes of one day being able to identify people who are developing patterns of CTE before it progresses too far. MRI scans like this are part of the puzzle. This is the brain of a male fighter.
Normally there's one membrane that separates the two sides. Mm-hmm. But with a lot of impacts to the head, that will split.
Okay.
So you can see it's just split apart. So there's two. And it's just a marker of exposure to a lot of head impacts. We find it about 50% of males that fight.
In a clinic room, Claire anxiously waits for her results.
Hello, hello.
Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, what's the update? How are you doing?
I struggled to sleep after a heavy sparring session, even though I'm absolutely exhausted. And that's to me is like the little red flag that maybe I got my bell rung.
Yeah, I do want to check you out, but I will share with you kind of how you did.
This is the stressful.
No, this is good.
First, her scores on all those memory, balance, and reaction time tests.
So we look for two things. One is just the trajectory of things over time, because this is, 5 years now? Yeah. And you could see, just in general, it's a straight line. And you are superior to most people your age.
Then Dr. Bernick pulls up Claire's MRI scans.
It's pretty close. You see a little slit here, you see this, but they're not changed. This is, 5 years, 2020 to 4 years. And if we go higher, just in the substance of the brain should have this consistency, which yours does. In other words, it doesn't show any scarring. Now, we'll do more precise measurements, but just looking at it, it doesn't look like there's any
concerning change or anything.
Right.
No changes, but is it time for Claire to call it quits?
I guess just of age and trying to get out before there's a lot of damage, but feeling like I've put so much into it, I still have the brain that's good enough to maybe go one more lap?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you throw in the towel when I'm just teetering on that decision and it's really hard?
Look, if you're asking, are you going to do irreparable harm to do one more fight? Of course not. Because all this stuff is just cumulative. I just think, if you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, it's better for your brain not to get hit. If you want to do this one more fight, be careful about it, and then maybe shut it off.
Claire's had a few hours to think about her results and her future.
Okay, so we're in this town where everybody's always rolling the dice. So after your results today, Are you thinking like you're gonna roll the dice?
I
Like,
gotta
is
take
it-
that chance,
Yeah.
like that risk. Yeah, I have to say after today, it's 100 times more tempting than how I thought before coming.
Yeah.
Because you get good news and it kind of like momentarily blots out the risks because you're like, oh, I've been risking it all for these years and hey, it's been good. Like there's nothing awful yet. So what's one more time? Also the trap.
So you're gonna stay in the ring?
I want to stay in the ring. Did I just say that? Who said that?
I think you said that.
I did say that.
So you're rolling the dice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll the dice. What is it, lucky sevens?
Yeah.